energy during the day, during your week? Hi, welcome. It's Christine, your emotion coach, and you're here with me for another daily bliss moment, daily inspiration. I'm taking this straight from the Daily Fire from Brendan Burchard, and his topic today was, do you get tired? And in my mind was like, I'm a highly sensitive. We kind of just get used to feeling tired. But it's not quite true, right? Over the years, I've made some adjustments that I will definitely let you in on that have made a big difference. And the biggest thing, you will not guess. You will not guess what the biggest thing was and is that makes a huge difference in how I feel, how energized I feel, how vital and alive I feel. But let's start from the top, right? Take your journal, right? I'm going to write these questions below. They're so important for you to reflect on and to really ask yourself, to bounce them off of a friend who's into this kind of personal growth kind of stuff, or book a session with me and we'll talk about it. I'd love to. So the first thing I asked you is, what drains you, right? What drains you during the day, during the week? Oh, I get so exhausted when blah, 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 right? What are your energy stealers? What is your energy drain, right? I noticed a big one for me was when I had some kind of emotional upset, usually with my boyfriend or with my kid, or just getting my kid through a tantrum that would last like an hour, and I'm just like exhausted afterwards. So it's really like feeling the intensity and like bracing the intensity of emotion, whether it's my own or somebody else's. Oh my gosh, incredibly draining. I'm just like wiped out by the end of the day. What is it for you? What drains you? Once again, the 7 key areas come in really handy if you kind of get stuck and you're like, I don't even know where to begin. Go through the list of the 7 key areas, right? Is it your love relationship? Is it your relationship with family, friends, co-workers, your boss? Is it any kind of relationship? Is it your health, vitality, worrying about your body? Is it about a hobby that you perform in or that you want to partake in? Or is it when you travel, right? Is it your spirituality? Which one of your 7 key areas are you feeling this energy drain in? And then I wrote 3 things that I find most important for highly sensitives when it comes to feeling fatigued, feeling drained, feeling tired during the day, right? A big thing, of course, is overstimulation. Are you building yourself in these breaks during the day that we all so absolutely need? And Brendan definitely talked about what he does during the day to generate energy. He kind of got us back to his book, High Performance Habits, which it's been a while since I've read it, and I don't think I've ever read the whole thing. He says chapter 2 is all about how to create energy. So if you're curious about his work, definitely get the book or listen to the book and listen to that second chapter of how to create energy. And that is actually, well, that is number 2, but I'll first go to number 1. Okay, number 1 that I wrote down is most important for highly sensitives about this whole topic of fatigue, fatigued, feeling tired. And that is, you got to accept it. And you're like, really, Christine? That's like super helpful. I just have to accept that I'm tired. Great. And I'm just going to be stuck there. No, but I want you to stop fighting it, because that's going to cost you even more energy. And especially, if this is happening every day, all day long, sure, there are a whole lot of different things that you're going to have to work on. But if it's during particular times of the day, or, every Friday, or, it's just when it's not all the time, be aware of when it comes up and what led up to it, right? There's probably overstimulation, not booking yourself enough breaks. Maybe you're doing something you really don't enjoy, But accept it and just be like, oh, you know what? I'm feeling a bit tired right now. I'm feeling a bit wiped out. And that's okay. Name the feeling, and that's okay. It's okay to feel that way. We as highly sensitives have fought against ourselves for so long It is important to acknowledge what you are feeling, how you are feeling, and that feeling is okay. It's valid. You can even name a reason or two. I did just do this really long data entry. I did just talk with a friend for an hour and a half on the phone. I did just get my kid through this tantrum, whatever it is, so this is normal. This makes sense. It makes sense. I feel tired, and that's okay. I feel tired, and it makes sense because, right? Shifts a whole lot already. Now, number 2, what are your energy creating habits? I just recently heard Brendan talk about this, right? He's like, your body and how you're feeling has everything to do with this last 72 hours of what you did with your nutrition, right? What kind of food you ate, your sleep, and your exercise habits. And I was like, part of me was like, Brendan, that's 3 days. That is a whole huge responsibility for me to be really good about all those 3 for 3 days and then to be able to feel it. Plus, if it's gonna take, right, if I'm cleaning up my diet and sleep and exercise today, you're really telling me I have to wait 3 days until I can feel the benefits of that? Well, 3 days is actually not too bad. I'll be here before you know it. But yes, and hopefully that'll give you an incentive to not cheat yourself so often out of feeling good. And if it's been a long time since you have felt good, I understand. I used to be there. I used to have all kinds of gut issues. I used to have all kinds of issues with eating and how I would feel after meals and feeling wiped out and not knowing what to eat and making peace with me eating a different kind of diet than everybody else around. Gosh, there's a lot around food these days, right? But this is why I start my 12-week coaching package with day number 1. Let's talk about your nutrition and your exercise, because we have to get your body feeling good. And then we can make the mental shifts, right? I mean, it all goes together, but we got to get you feeling good. So don't give up on feeling good. You can absolutely do a little something. Even if you're not going to be training for a marathon, you can get on that rebounder for a couple of minutes. You can take a walk around the block, God, especially out in nature, enjoying nature, right? You can do a little yoga flow. You can do something and build a habit around a little bit and doing a little bit more each day. You can absolutely do that. And then sleep, right? That's a whole another topic in and of itself of, are you sleeping well? Are you not sleeping well? How are you feeling about not sleeping well? First thing always is to accept it, to say I am where I am, and that's okay. I am where I am, and that's okay. Number 3, right? The third thing that is so important, particularly for highly sensitives around feeling more energized during the day, is hard one. It's a hard one. It's a really hard one. Don't compare yourself to others, right? Resist that temptation of comparing yourself to others. God, we do that a lot as highly sensitives, in particular because we have this wound of feeling different, right? Of like, everybody else can handle this. Why can't I handle this? Why do I feel so tired? Why do I feel so wiped out? Why do I feel so weak? Why is my body so weak, right? Don't compare yourself to others, and not even to other highly sensitives, because you know what? You are a unique being. Everybody goes through different seasons in their life. Everybody has a different rhythm during the day. Figure out your own rhythm. Figure out what you need. Figure out when your highest energy times are and how to utilize them the best. Figure out when you crash and why you crashed, right? Was it because you didn't plan in a break? Was it because you didn't sleep well the night before? Was it because you chose crappy nutrition, right? What is it? Have you brought in some healthy habits of like doing some breath work, doing some tapping, waking up the body, jumping up and down for a little bit, getting on that rebounder, taking a walk, taking a 5-minute nap? Gosh, yesterday I was so wiped out. I had already had 2 clients at 2 different locations. So there was a lot of driving, there was a lot of working. And I get home just in time to about start with my third client. I had about 10 minutes, and I was like, you know what I need right now? I just need 5 minutes of chill time, right? You've heard me talk about this one before. It's my favorite. I lay on the floor on a yoga mat, and I'm just like on my back, closing my eyes, and I'm just like letting go. I'm feeling everything getting heavy and melting into the floor, right? The back of my head gets really heavy, melting into the floor. My shoulders get really heavy, melting into the floor. My elbows and wrists melting into the floor. My hips get heavy and sink into the floor. My knees, my ankles, right? You're just picturing yourself letting go of everything. Ugh. You think that 5 minutes are not going to make a big difference? 5 minutes of deep belly breathing and complete relaxation, especially with your eyes closed, it's incredible. It works wonders. Try it. Let me know if it works for you. And then, yeah, the biggest point about this, not comparing yourself to others, like I said, is like, be curious, right? That's always the thing. It's like, don't do this. Don't compare yourself. Well, what can I do, right? Be curious. Don't beat yourself up. Don't judge yourself. Be curious. What is happening for me right now in my life? What kind of season am I in? Am I in the child caring season? Am I in the I'm prepping for an important exam season? Am I in the I'm really building my physical body season? Am I just recovering from an illness? It's like, what season, what month, what week, what is going on for me right now? Am I going through a divorce right now, right? I don't know, did I just travel overseas? Like, what is going on for me right now? Can I be curious why my body is giving me this wonderful feedback of, hey, we need a bit more downtime so that I can catch up with everything that I need to metabolize and heal and digest and incorporate, integrate, right? So I'm hoping you made some notes. If not, I'm going to write those questions below. But hopefully, grab your journals, write these things down, be curious and journal, right? And then ask yourself this at the very end. What do I need? Right? In that moment of tiredness, what do I need? Yes, I get it. It's not always possible. Sometimes you got to finish up the day. But you can ask yourself, what do I need tonight? What can I do tonight to help myself restore, rest, rejuvenate? What do I need next time to not feel so drained during a day when I have to do similar activities, right? What do I need? Always such a powerful question. And then this last one, are you ready? Are you ready? And then I'll still tell you, I haven't forgotten, that number one thing that really made a big change for me in how drained I felt during the day. So, last question, what would need to change in your life in order for you to feel less drained, more vital, more alive, more energetic, right? What would need to change? What area in your life needs to change? Some of you are going to be like, oh, this thing, right? And then don't fall in the temptation of going, but it's not going to change, so I can't do anything about it. There's always something you can do about it, even if you just need to change your mind about it. If you need to define it differently, right? The way you define it is the way you're going to experience. And that was the biggest aha moment for me of what really drained me the most. Like I kind of hinted at, it was like these emotions, right? My emotions, my kid emotions, somebody's big emotions around me that really drained me the most. And what helped the most and helps the most for me is awareness, to be aware and to not fight against it, right? To be okay with it, to change my mind about it, to change the meaning that I assign this to it, right? Like when my kid goes into a tantrum of like, oh my God, this is so inconvenient. I don't have time for this right now. I have so many things to do. This is so annoying. If he could just accept that we can't have ice cream every day, all day long, we wouldn't be in this tantrum right now. Or if I would have just let him buy that candy bar, then we wouldn't have a tantrum right now for an hour, right? That is not productive or helpful, right? So now when my kid goes into a tantrum, I'm like, okay, it's okay. Everything's okay. My kid has to feel his emotions to understand, hey, my emotions are okay. I can be that stable force to say, your emotions are okay. Expressing your emotions is okay. You're just learning about your emotions. And I can be that stable force and I can say, I can take it. It's all right. And then to just say there's nothing more important right now than just for me to be there to hold space, right? Yes, sometimes I have to cook dinner and I'm like, okay, babe, I love you. I understand you. Keep processing that stuff. I'm gonna be gone for 10 minutes. I'll come back and check on you, right? I love you. You mean the world to me. This is important stuff that we're doing, right? That reassurance and then just telling myself, right? Because before then, what's your inner conversation, right? Is my inner conversation, I messed up. I'm a bad mom. I can never do this right. Why am I always such a failure? You know, whatever the inner conversation is, if you can change that inner conversation to something valuable, to like, this has meaning. This is important work that I'm doing. Nothing is for nothing, right? This is important work and I will get through this, right? That's another one of my favorite mantras of like, this is hard, but I can do it. This is hard, but I can do it. I can get through this. And of course, at other times, if you're in the midst of a storm of somebody else's emotions, yes, ask yourself, do I really need to be here or can I choose to remove myself from the situation, right? When it's not your kid, right? Be true to yourself, be authentic, be accepting, be curious, and know that this is such incredibly important work. And you always, always have a choice how you experience it, how you choose to integrate it, how you choose to feel about it, what meaning you assign to this thing. All right. I think I'll let you go with this. I have one closing thought. Definitely go check out Daily Fire in the Growth app with Brendan. One thing that he mentioned was he gets a lot of energy and vitality from centering his day around things that he loves. And that is so true. I love that. Yes, you're aware of things that drain you. What are things that energize you? What are things that you love? What are things that you're just like, I enjoy this, right? I always talk about put on a good song, dance for 5 minutes. That gives you a lot of energy. So beautiful. Thank you for being here, for showing up for yourself. And I will see you tomorrow.